What's up, tricksters and tricksettas, watching another tier 3 sub VOD review. So today at our coaching table we have a Raze on Lotus in a Diamond 2 elo. For a long time we didn't have a Raze player here, and I also completed Unranked Immortal series with Raze, so there's a lot of things to speak about. Now instantly, is Raze good on Lotus? Absolutely, the best duelist for Lotus, and essentially, I mean, in Diamond elo you should be carrying your games on Lotus like this, no matter what type of teammates you have. And let's see how we can help our friend Bruce. So first of all, I'm a Raze main and have most of my playstyle inspiration from watching Jing streams. Very good Raze player to learn from, and usually he's my top recommendation when it comes to mastering and learning the Raze. Like, there's, you know, a few more players, but he is really nasty on this agent. Unfortunately, I do not have good aim yet to back off his playstyle, but somehow I got to Diamond 3. We'll see what you can work on. I think I have an issue with adapting to different teams and comps. With a well-playing team, I get into the flow and play a good game. When my team is making potato plays, I become a potato too. Essentially, you know, what type of teammates you get depends how you should play the game. You know, like, if you have passive teammates on the attacker side, you cannot really play aggressive. Like, you need to play according to them and figure out how you can maybe isolate one of the enemies in some kind of a duel that works in your favor, delete that enemy, open some part of the map, and then, you know, team play maybe can exist. On a defender side, I mean, you simply will have good or bad teammates. And depending how much you can trust them, depends, you know, whether or not you should fill in the positions or play default or play this, play that. We'll see what you can do there. Like, you know, adaptiveness is the hardest skill set to be mastered in Valorant because it heavily relies on your game knowledge and obviously decision making. But without the proper game knowledge, it's really hard to become an adaptive player and a player that is able to be, you know, useful in every scenario. The only way to fix this problem is like through self-observation, analysis of your plays, analysis of your teammates, I mean, of other players, and also, like, I mean, if you already buy coaching or from someone, that someone should help you in a long run. Like, adaptiveness is basically like the sum of your game knowledge, game sense, map awareness, everything, essentially, feeling for timings, etc, etc. And all of that takes an enormous amount of time to actually, like, develop on a high level, and you need to have some kind of a consistent support there. Like, the more scenarios you learn how to play, the more of an adaptive player you're gonna become, obviously. Now, because this is a Lotus VOD, a good example is that on defense, my teammates sometimes do not want to fight for A control and play passive. If your teammates don't wanna fight for A control, you cannot fight for it alone. You need to figure out something, you know, what the fuck we can do on Lotus to play passively and get some picks. Like, I don't know, you're playing Raze, buy the Odin. Buy the Odin, try to go for some cheesy plays, you know, spam this wall from here, spam the enemies as they're pushing in. Fuck it. Like, if your team is not, I mean, it's impossible for you to take the aim and control alone. You're not a god, bro. You know, you cannot kill like 5 enemies alone and dodge the flashes, utility, smoke for yourself, like nade for yourself, satchel. Like, it is impossible. So essentially, like, you know, try to use some off angle on the site, get a few picks, slowly fall back. At the end of the day, it's always better for you to play a 5v5 retake rather than dying alone on, you know, doing some stupid play. Like, on a defender side, most of the time, it is just better for you to survive and play a retake. Especially in the full buy rounds. Fuck it. Like, if you cannot really contest the enemies or, you know, you cannot fight them alone, there's no point in doing so. Now, this makes me struggle since I copy most of my games ideas from Jing and never see him play passive A. I mean, that's the problem when you copy the playstyle only of one player. Listen, man, you cannot play the game as Jing. I cannot play the game as Tens. X player cannot play Valorant in the Y way. So essentially, you need to figure out your own playstyle. Like, you cannot copy paste the Jing playstyle in a Diamond elo. Brother. Like, you're just gonna kill yourself, essentially, like, and not be a useful asset to your team in this elo. Like, in this elo, like, there's no trust. You don't like, every single match, you start with a mindset, my teammates are mentally retarded until they prove me wrong, and you need to play a bit more reserved and essentially, like, you know, play a bit more of a trading game, safer gameplay, etc, etc. Like, of course, Jin can do whatever the fuck he wants. He's playing with 4 high elo players. Everybody knows what their job is. Everybody knows, like, what is a proper play on a specific map. So essentially, like, you know, there's 3 elos in Valorant. Low elo, medium elo, high elo. Depending in which elo you play, depends how your playstyle should actually look like. Like, general playstyle. And your playstyle as a player, you need to figure out what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses. Like, Jing is a player that has a really good mechanical skill. Maybe you will never reach that level of mechanics, because mechanical skill always has a certain skill ceiling that is really hard to breach, and sometimes also impossible. Like, we are all born different. But a good thing is, you know, Valorant is not a game that is only being played on a mechanics. We have the abilities, we have all of the other different factors, and essentially, like, you don't need to force yourself only into one playstyle, you know, pick this, pick that. Like, brother, if I was taking the fights that, I don't know, like, Tenz is taking, I would be like a hardstock immortal player for forever. Like, I don't have a mechanics for that. But that's why I have more of a outplay playstyle that relies on variety of weapons, etc, etc. Now, when I entry with Raze, it's often so much chaos that I forget to look at my minimap when my teammates or enemies die, which often leads to deaths because of unexpected enemy positions. Okay? Because I'm not winning most of my 50-50s, I have built a bad habit of either playing too safe or too aggressive because I'm overcompensating. I generally feel more comfortable on defense. I have the feeling that my timing on attack is not good. I either entry too kamikaze or accidentally bait my team. I don't know. You know, usually when I do these tier 3 sub VOD reviews, like, at the end of every VOD review, I share with the player some kind of a training. Whether it is an aim training, a general training, a specific training for a specific thing, I don't know. Depending what I see, what are your main problems, depends which training you're gonna get. Like, I have like 100 of these pre-recorded, like, general training routines, aim training routines, and we're gonna figure something out for you. Obviously, you know, whichever training I recommend you, you're not gonna use it for the rest of your life. You're gonna use it only for like 1, 2, or 3 months, and then we'll see how much you actually improve yourself. So our main goal today is to see, like, what you're missing the most and what we can improve in the shortest period of time. And also, like, majority of your matches in Valorant, especially in medium and low elo lobbies, you win primarily on a defender side. You win or lose them on defense, because in attack it's really hard to coordinate, like, you know, diamond players, gold players, platinum players. Like, it's sometimes almost impossible. So as long as you are performing well on a defender side, you should be able to rank up, no matter, even if you take like 3 to 5 rounds on attack of every single, because on defense you actually control, you know, how you want to stop the enemies, where are the enemies gonna go. You can always control the outcome of your rounds, essentially, most of the time. I have a very, very weak tracker score, KST and KD. Because I'm okay, so you want to look at episode 8, act 2. Okay, what the fuck? My G is playing a lot of matches, huh? Like it. What I currently do to improve is like daily 30 minutes in-game training based on your guide, followed by 3 deathmatches where I focus on crosshair placement at the moment. I reduce my rank games to 2 to 3 games per day. In these first games, I'm the most concentrated and actually play a decent game. After that, my performance drops quite hard. I started to use the operator, never used it before, by Stinger instead of Spectre in Hullbeist, and use Shorty more often. Okay? Main questions. What recurring mistakes can you find in my gameplay? Which weakness should I work on the most? How and in which order? If you can spend 3 hours a day for Valorant and training, how would you use that time? How can I measure if I'm improving? Some minor questions about my gameplay, because I'm not using the operator more often. I don't know where I should position myself. Am I holding on or off angles? But essentially, like, you know, where you want to play with the op heavily depends, and how you want to play with the op heavily depends on yours and enemy's team composition, and which map you're playing. Like, it really depends where the enemies are flashing, stunning, you know, how they're peeking a specific angle. Sometimes we need... I mean, in my ranked playbook on Discord server, basically here, in the agent guides, in the Jet videos, I covered 90%, actually 95% of angles, on angles and off angles, that you can hold with Raze as well, when you're playing Operator. And all of these positions, as much as they're good for Jet, they're also good for Raze as well. So basically, like, you know, take a look at my Jet videos, watch all of them, and these Jet videos are also going to heavily improve your Raze gameplay on every single map. Like, how I have explained, like, how should you play Jet? In the same way you should play the Raze as well. Obviously, you don't have a dash, you know, the executes are not the same, obviously, but how you should hold positions, how you should path, how you should, like, hold on a defender's side is the fucking same. Like, I would heavily recommend you, if you struggle with positioning, just look at that, you'll be totally fine. I try to use my satchels for elevation and getting away, but I often get pre-fired or die because of reaction time. So we need to improve reaction time as well, okay? Since I'm not feeling my team composition is often not the best, how to adjust my playstyle without a flash agent or controlling the team? Essentially, team compositions literally don't matter at all up to Immortal 3. Like, you can win every game with any team composition, as long as you adapt yourself, obviously, to that specific... Like, the better team will always win in the lobbies below Immortal 3. Like, only for Immortal 3, like, team comps matter a lot more because, I mean, you cannot really do some cheesy plays and some shit like against a high elo player that you can do against the players that are below Immortal 3. So even if you have a team composition without a controller, okay, so what? Like, just play a bit slower, play a bit more default, try to pick the enemies apart, essentially, like, before executing a site, and then, I need to mute this. That lighter, thank you for the prime sub. Like, essentially, if you don't have a controller, you know, just don't execute the site immediately. Wait to see if enemies are gonna make some kind of a mistake. Because, like, when you're playing on the attacker side, like, I mean, generally speaking, in these lobbies where you're right now, it is much easier to, like, abuse enemies' mistakes rather than making some kind of a good play. Players are usually very undisciplined. They don't give a fuck. Like, they're just gonna peek you left and right when they don't need to, and essentially, like, that's what you can do. And when it comes to, like, not having initiators, like, who the fuck cares? You know, you have a boom bot, you can still, you know, make the pressure with an 8 boom bot, like, clear some of the angles for your team, and then execute a site. If you, basically, a lot of these questions that you ask me here are very, like, situational questions. Like, you need to showcase me an example of the game that you play, an example of a round that you play, and then I can give you some solutions. Like, all of this heavily depends on what is enemy's team comp, what is your team's comp, which map we are fucking playing, which round we are playing, what is our economy, what is the enemy's economy. Like, it's impossible to cover these topics as a general topics and give you some general rules. Like, that is simply impossible. Now, if you play an equal team size, 2-2-3-3, post-play and attack, how should I position myself to be able to refer my teammate if not all angles can be covered? Okay, so basically, whenever you're playing 2v2 and 3v3 scenarios, first of all, fuck the map control, fuck the spike, fuck everything. Safety is your highest priority. Like, there is always something that you can do better to play a proper refray game. Like, a lot of times, if I'm playing, you know, I don't know. Okay, you're playing post plan, 2-2-3-3. On the, let's say, A site. Spike is planted right here. One of your teammates is in the A main. One of your teammates is on tower. That guy on the tower is probably going to be the first pick with the enemies. And since the spike is planted, let's say, for tower, we just play on tower. And we stack with that ally. Who the fuck cares about the site? We have the full tower control, full drop control. If our Cypher dies, who cares? We still have a Brimstone. We can play a refray game. Like, the worst thing you can do in a 2v2 and 3v3 scenarios is give the enemies 1 versus 1 gunfights everywhere. Like you doing this guy doing this guy doing this. Like, just run towards your ally that has the highest chances of dying at that moment of time and play with that ally. Like, there's no way that you're in such an overexposed area of the map where you cannot position yourself to cover all of the angles. Like, I don't know, like you're in a 2v2 postman on B site, and the spike is planted here. And my teammate is, I don't know, in the A link. Just play with a teammate. Fuck it. Refrag game. Using the nade to maybe stop the defuse through the window, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know any area of the map in Valorant or any postman scenario where you cannot position yourself in a way, in a safe way, where you see, where both of you guys see all of the angles in front of yourself, and where, like, we cannot reduce the factor of timing and luck. I don't know, like on Breeze, like, you're playing a 2v2 postman on B side. Spike is planted here, for an example. Your teammate is in B-man. Fuck it. Leave the site, play in the B-man with your teammate. Cypher is holding this. You can hold the back, and that's it. Or you play here, Cypher plays here, Danzo. What's the problem? Okay, my car is gonna die. Now, your Cypher plays at the broken wall. Tell the Cypher, Cypher, my dear friend, mentally retarded friend, can you come with me and play with me the backside? Tell him, communicate. He doesn't want to do it. No problem. You play broken wall with the Cypher, but you can bait him a bit and play from the CT. So we're keeping the CT control, looking at this, and then going for the retake, maybe with the nade, satchels, etc, etc. Like, I don't know. Like, there's always some kind of a solution. Okay, shared us a link. Okay, let's see the link. This is actually good. What the fuck, bro? Sorry? Okay, let's see this. May I ask? Okay, so he needs to go for the aggressive play here because we are 4 versus 5. We can get a pick. Okay, his teammates are playing together. Good kill. Job done. Nobody's here. What do we do right now? We play with the Raze. We play with the Claw. Cypher can be lurking behind us. Why would you play in the CT right now? Like, what's the point? We need to pick up the spike. We need to help our teammates. Plus, you made your presence in the CT, and one of the enemies is going to be wasting a lot of time watching this CT angle. You know, we can keep our location a secret, drop a Molotov, so the enemies cannot backstab us fast, and we just reposition towards our allies. Here, I will never play here where he's playing right now. Wall was wasted. Number 1. Number 2, our Raze is safe in the elbow. Our Claw is on the site. Why the fuck are you isolating a 1 versus 1 fight? Raze can die alone from the elbow. Claw can die alone on the site. What you should have done here is simply reposition towards the elbow. So, our Raze is here. Claw is here. We observe the CT for the Claw from this position, and occasionally jiggle peek the main as well. What's the problem?
I know exactly where you are.
But you know, like, you went into elbow, but you're not holding anything. You give me a break, man. Like, give me a break. The reason why you reposition here is to cover the anal cavity of the Claw, or to refrag the Claw as the Claw is taking a gunfight in the A short area of the map. Why did you position in the elbow if you're not going to support your teammate?
7-8-12.
Like, zero confidence. I mean, like, you know, even if you're not that mechanically good to contest the enemies in the CT, you were forced to do that at this moment of time. At least fight with the Claw, as she's fighting in the short area of the map. You just baited the shit out of your teammates and you're like, oh, how I could have played this 2v2, 3v3 better. Bro, you know, like, come on, man. And also, imagine in this scenario, if we had a Phoenix wall. Like what he could have done here. Even when he's left 1v2, he could have done the wall like this. And then pop flash the enemies from the left. Bop, one dead, easy kills. Because he has a flash and a wall. I mean, he would have had a wall if he actually didn't waste it in the CT. What the hell, bro? Come on, man. What are these questions? Do we call a teammate to double up and push something? Do we gamble and hope the enemy doesn't come from an angle by the game sense? In 2v2 and 3v3 scenarios, there is almost never a reason to gamble. Like, I really think that, you know, there is always a good way to position where we can cover all of the angles from which enemies can kill us. Like in a 1v1 scenarios, you know, and 1vx, you need to gamble a lot. Obviously. But in a 2v2, 3v3, like, as long as you play the proper refrag game with your teammates, and we are removing the factor of luck and timings by removing some of the angles from which enemies can kill us, we're good to go. We're good to play that round. You cannot tell me, like, that in this scenario, you said, like, you asked me, what is your problem? Problem is, like, you didn't fight with your teammate. Yes, you were getting revealed by the Cypher, but what? You're gonna wait for Claw and Raze to die and then peek the enemies? Brother. Let's chill a bit. I don't know, like, on a defender side. Defense as well. Let's say you're playing Ascent, for an example. Your Jet is here. You're playing in A short. We are 2 versus 2. Against 2 enemies, and we have no fucking clue. Where are the last 2 enemies? What is the best game decision? Gamble. Sell the map control. Play the retake. Done. Period. Like here, we cannot fight the enemies in the fair fights. Ever. We can, like, if I'm short, I can die from here, from here, from here. Jet can die from here, from here, from here. Gamble. Tell your Jet, brother, I think enemies are gonna go A. Come on A side with me. Or you should be just, you know, if you think enemies are gonna go B, don't say anything to your Jet. Connect to the anal cavity of your Jet and play with the Jet. And now, how do we position ourselves? Obviously, playing like this would be cancer. Because enemies can kill us from the CT, from the mid, and from the B main. How do we position? Just stack the CT. You're watching one angle, Jet is watching one angle. No matter how the enemies peek you, you're able to refrag each other's out. Done. This is the best rule I can give you, especially for the elos below Immortal 3. Like, fuck the map control. In those type of scenarios, gamble. And if the enemies plant the spike on A, who the fuck cares? The more numbers you have, the more utility you have, the more eyes you have, the retakes are easier. Because here, for an example, if you played A short, enemies pushed your Jet, bop bop. Jet is dead. And you're playing a 1v2 retake. Which is 10 times harder than a 2v2 retake. Even if the Jet kills one enemy. 1v1 retake is 2 times harder than a 2v2 retake. Because it is based more on luck, timings, what type of utility I have, what type of utility enemies have. Do I have any read onto the enemies? And how they actually like to play. And this same rule goes for a 3v3 scenarios as well. Like, you will never see me in a 3v3 scenario fighting hard for the map control. Why would I do that? Fuck it, like, you know, let's say my Jet is B side, my Killjoy is mid, and I'm A alone. I cannot fight in A main, A side, and A short alone. I'm gonna get stomped. So what do? We simply close the doors, sell the A side, and fully gamble onto A short. Always keep in mind that enemies can, you know, lurk onto the A side and push A. If they decide to split the A side and somebody goes to short, Those should be easy kills for you because you baited the enemies by closing the doors. Because most of the times, you know, when you close the door, when players close the doors, players have the mentality, aha, that player is probably playing either in A main or on the site. And there's probably going to be someone lurking through short. And even if there's nobody in short, okay. Enemies push A site. Now we're playing 3v3 retake with a Jet, Raze, and Killjoy utility. We have the Nanoswarms, Alarm Bot, Turret, Nade, Boom Bot, Satchels. And we fight together. Now, I will try to answer some of these questions a bit more in depth through the VOD review, but for now, this kind of it. And also, like, you know, I think a lot of these questions, for a lot of these questions, I already have some of the pre-recorded coaching videos that are gonna help you a lot. Like, basically, you know, I already coached like 4,000 players in Valorant, bro. I've been coaching players for 4 years, and a lot of times I repeat myself like 24/7. And I have around like 20, 30 pre-recorded coaching videos where I explain some of these topics a bit more in depth. And I'm just gonna share some of these with you, and they're gonna help you out. And also we need to figure out some kind of a training for you. Now, when it comes to your performance, this is actually good. I mean, going from gold to diamond 3 in just like 2 episodes is actually nice. But the problem here is like, I mean, you have 700 hours. In 700 hours, I think that this progress could have been a bit better. Let's be honest. You're kind of just, you know, brute forcing yourself when it comes to ranking up. I would definitely recommend you, if you have more than 120 hours to play a game in an act, play on 2 accounts. You know, you play 2 games on 1 account, 2 games on the second account, and it's much easier to grind Valorant like that and to remove the mindset of having a main account. And also, there's other benefits of doing that, like MMR, matchmaking, maps, rotations, shit like that. Now, your playtime is good. You know, I have nothing to shit about there. And let's see, like, what's happening in the statistics. This is horrible. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. There is not a single stat here that is actually good. ADR shit. Suboptimal. KD, God forbid. KST, I don't want to mention. Headshot percentage, I don't want to talk about it. Like, literally, there's not a single statistic that is good for you. Which probably means that your positioning might be shit. Your pathing might be shit. Like, everything might be shit. Like, I don't know, man. Like, when I see this type of a tracker, I already know what type of a training I'm gonna give you. But, like, problems can be anywhere. Anywhere, literally. Like, one thing that I definitely need to pay attention on during this VOD review is your aim. Like, we need to improve your mechanical skill. Like, having 14.4% overall headshot ratio in Diamond 3 is criminal. I don't speak about, you know, headshot percentage doesn't matter. You can use the judge, operator, shorty, you know. But 14.4% is really a criminal offense. I mean, you know, with a Vandal and Phantom, you should try to have at least 25%. Now, clutch percentage very low. Like, I think we can do something better in your 1v1s and 1v2 scenarios. Okay. Where's the attack? 68% on attack. 52% win rate on attack. 0.82 KD. Your attack is actually better than your defense. I mean, like, you do have a better KD and better KST on defense, but you win 2-3% more rounds on attack, actually. And you said, like, and you said that attack is your problem. bro, but based on these statistics, I mean, both attack and defense are a problem, but you know, in this elo, on defense, you should be able to frag a lot more, especially with Raze. Hmm. 391 last deaths in 269 matches. That's okay, actually. Okay. And you mainly main, like, Raze. I mean, to be honest, like, you know, in this elo, you can play Raze on every map. Quite literally. Even on Breeze. All the way up to Immortal 1, Immortal 3, whatever. Like, I mean, Raze is a good agent until they nerf her, maybe. So, like, yeah, sure. Like, I mean, on Lotus, Raze is great. On Split, Raze is great. Like, on Ascent, Raze is great. Like, on Bind, Raze is great. On Icebox, she's okay. Not really the best shit ever, but she can work. Like, which other map we have? Sunset, Raze is amazing. And only on Breeze, like, Raze is kind of like, you know. Obviously, Jet and Yoru are a bit better. But in this elo, I think you can just play Raze on every map. If you already want to master this agent. And what is your lowest win rate map? Ascent, actually. Okay. But on Icebox, you have a criminal performance. Okay. Now, when it comes to... I mean... Do I need to speak about this? Like, all of your stats are suboptimal. Like, literally suboptimal. I don't know, man. Like literally, just based on this tracker, I don't even need to watch this VOD review. Do this VOD review. I already know what to give you when it comes to your training. Because this is criminal. And definitely your weapon variety is like, you know, shit. Like, Outlaw doesn't exist. Broken weapon. Especially in these medium, low elo lobbies, like, brother. Enemies are eco halbite. They don't have money for heavy shields. Pop. Body shots everywhere. Get them out of the server. Shorty. Primary, secondary weapon. Judge. On a map such as Bind. Pop. Operator. You're not playing Operator, man. In this elo, you're not abusing the elo stick on Breeze and Icebox. Okay. Yeah. What's happening in episode 8, Act 3? Okay, in episode 8, Act 3, you actually improved your mechanical skill a bit. Okay. And we do have a better weapon variety. Not really that much, but op is there at least, and then some of the other weapons. But still, like, you know, you can do so much better in these rounds, man. So much better. Okay, I'm not even gonna bother anymore with a tracker and all of this. I'm just gonna focus on VOD. Because your tracker is just... there's no recommendations here. It is just like, you need to improve every single skill set. And I have already a training that can kind of do that for you, so we'll figure it out. Let's do the VOD review. Bruce, brother, did you watch my general Raze guides in my ranked playbook? Like, in the ranked playbook, I didn't cover the maps for Raze, but I covered the you know, utility usage and economy. Those videos are very important for you. Like, I mean, if you already want to main Raze. Sorry guys that I'm speaking like an NPC, like I'm already streaming for 6.5 hours, and essentially, like, you know, I'm in a full YouTube NPC mode. Okay. Okay, let's start from... Oh, yeah, I need to remove this button, man. I cannot... ultimate on X and jump removed. Okay. Okay, let's start with this. So, first round, Lotus. How do we play Lotus? On the attacker side of Lotus, our number 1 priority, C site. Number 2 priority, A site. Number 3 priority, B site. In the first 4 to 6 rounds, we want to mainly focus on C, then on A, and then using the B site as the last resort. The best pattern of pushing on Lotus on the attacker side is the following. We push C site 3 rounds in a row, and in the 4th round, we're faking C, going A. Done. And then from the 5th round, depending on our economy, enemy's economy, and what worked for us, and how enemy's position, we make a decision. Okay, we want to play here, there, etc, etc. In the first round with Raze, hey guys, I have the spike. I'm gonna send it on C site. You buy the classic, light shield, 2 satchels. Your job, jump spot the enemies here immediately, reveal them. Also, if your teammates are not using the flashes to push the enemies back, it's totally fine if you just use your nade. You know, it's better for you that your teammates are not dying as they're pushing through the choke point, instead of you getting to this position with 3 teammates dead. Always remember that. Like, it is always better for you to silently support your teammates with utility in the main area of the map and just spam the enemies back, instead of losing your allies here because they're not jump spotting, because they're not using the flashes and their fucking utility. Here, for an example, enemies are always pushing you in A main, no problem. Crouch, bam, push the enemies back. Better than, you know, losing your allies from some kind of a jet peek with a operator, for an example. And, you know, we clear the, let's say we clear the C-long area of the map like a normal human beings, you know. We jump spot the enemies and then, like, clear them with the flash. We're ready for the execute. What do we do in the first round? So, usually in the first round, you know, I wait for my teammates to come here. When they're ready to execute a site, I'll be deploying a nade at the backside there, using 1 satchel like this, and getting in this position. Then in this position, I'm waiting for my teammates to connect with me, and I'm gonna start fighting the enemies together with my allies. So I'm not gonna do some crazy fucking double satchel like this, putting myself in an exposed position where my teammates cannot refrag me. No, no. As long as you take this space, it's totally fine. Like, we just do this to the enemy smoke. We do this, get on site. And now we wait for our teammates to pick some contact with the enemies, and then we fight together. A lot of the Raze players, like especially in your elo, have the problem where in the first round you just send it, bro. Like, you just do something like this, or I don't know, like, sorry, I missed the satchels. Like, you do something like this, and then my brother is in this position. His anal cavity is exposed from 1, 2, 3, 4 different angles. Your teammates are not following you in time and not able to refrag you, and you die for nothing. And you're like, oh, my teammates don't follow me up. You're so bad. Timing. Bro. You know. Okay. Let's see what we do here.
I think we should go.
I'd argue only Killjoy is bad Sentinel on Breeze. Yes, Killjoy is the worst fucking Sentinel on Breeze, but lack of agent diversity is a fair point, but other maps have a very established meta even in this city. Except there is a Cypher setup waiting for you. You mean like, here? Cypher setup? But I don't know, man, like, I mean, you 90% of games, when you play on Lotus, you're gonna play against the Killjoy. What you can also do when you start executing a site, drop a nade like this. You know, destroy the nanoswarms here and then go out. That's also totally fine.
You on the first round. They have breach and Raze on A.
Talking about why Breeze is bad. I mean, like, Breeze is a... from now, like, I don't know. We're gonna see, like, what they're gonna do with the Haven and a new map. Why people don't like Breeze? But the reason why Breeze is a bad map for solo queue is because it requires a high level of communication, high level of trust, mechanical skill is very important, and essentially, it's really, it's, you know, if there is a Cypher defending the B side, and Cypher is always dying first, I need to rotate all the way from A to B by my fucking feet. And that takes me 10, 15, 20 seconds in the post plant on the retake. It's a terrible design. Listen, my man, I absolutely respect this shorty buy here, but in the first round on the attacker side, I will never use a shorty. I would never recommend you to use a shorty. Like, especially on Lotus. Classic pistol, light shield, 2 satchels, and nade. Anyways, the classic has a triple shot. Most of the players play a fucking ghost. You would just delete them with a triple shot. When did you ever see me on the attacker side? I mean, you just started watching me, but who plays shorty without the light shield in the first round on the attacker side? That's such a huge risk, man. You see, here you should be talking to your teammates as well. Reina, motherfucker, come with us long. Killjoy, no. This is not the round where you lurk. We play together. Like, the first round on the attacker side is when you should be really vocal to your teammates. In this elo, you need to tell them what to do. In the first round, we always want to fight together as 5. No one should be lurking, flanking. We should never play some kind of a stupid default. In this round, Killjoy, brother, you can lurk in a second round, third round, fourth. Come with us here. Reina, don't PK me an area of the map. I know you're gonna die alone like a fucking imbecile. Play with us. Against this team composition, how are enemies gonna position? Raze, A site. Killjoy, defending C and B with a setup. Jet, A site as well, maybe. Breach, B site with a stun. And Harbor is like a gamble. He has maybe C, B, A, we don't know. You already know, based on the common knowledge, how enemies are gonna position. Now, why is it okay to push Killjoy? Because rotation from A to C takes ages on this map. And also because, like, no matter what type of a setup Killjoy does on the C side, most of the times that is not gonna be enough to stop your push. Especially if we stomp that Killjoy with utility, 90% of the times you will just delete that Killjoy, get her out of the map, and take the side for free.
Maybe it's rotate. Open dot, go B.
Yeah, they left. Yeah, we can. No, maybe go A. Maybe go A.
Satchel out.
Yeah.
They went. One is link.
Check corners.
One's link.
There. Reloading.
Smoke's down.
Can we talk about the
There. Reloading.
about the Diamond 2 smoke? This is unreal. Here, man, like, you know, if you already decide to play a shorty in the first round, you needed to close the gap with the enemies in the stairs. I mean, generally speaking, like, playing only a shorty on the attacker side in the first round is a huge gamble. And a gamble that I would never take. It's just not worth it. Like, here, like, okay, my Brimstone gave me some kind of a smoke in for the stairs. I need to play stairs. Because that's maybe the only angle or only position where I can get some kind of a kill. I mean, we can also play here and bait the shit out of our teammates. And when the enemies are close with the aim and just drop a satchel and try to delete one enemy. But why would we do that? Brimstone gave us a smoke. We did a nade. Let's take the extra space. Clear the smoke. And now let's hold this angle. Deleting one more enemy. And that's it. Where are you going, bro? Okay. We planted the spike. We planted the spike. We didn't hear any enemy at the stairs. Now play passively. Plus, the spike is planted perfectly for you. Spike is planted here. So instead of me pushing stairs now, blindly, with no information, let's rotate through the doors. Right here, we have a satchel. We have a shorty. As soon as the enemy stab the spike, bam. I can trade myself for maybe 1 or 2 kills. But now, going stairs, when your teammates left the site, you're gonna die in a crossfire or God knows how. I don't know where, like, what's the plan here? Like to fight the enemies with a shorty in this range. Like, why did you put yourself in such an overexposed position, number one? And why are you even making some kind of a move? Now we should wait to see what type of a move enemies are gonna make. And also, enemies are never gonna expect 3 of you guys at the tree. Plus, they don't have a smoker. They cannot smoke you off. You have a satchels to close the gap with them. Like here, easy kills. And this was, to be honest, a bit of unlucky timing, but you forced yourself into this unlucky timing. Like, it's not unlucky if you chose a wrong play and a wrong position to play. But once again, I'll emphasize, like, I really don't know a single map in Valorant where I would buy a shorty in the first round and play a shorty without a light shield and pray to God to kill an enemy. With Raze, like, on 90% of the maps, you go with a classic light shield and 2 satchels. Now, this round, see push again. See push again. Because map, design, and economy allows us to do that. Like, the best pattern of pushing on this map is, like, pushing C side 3 rounds in a row, then faking C and going A in the 4th round. Because you apply enormous amount of mental pressure on C side, and players in the 4th round will play faster rotations. Also, imagine if you win all 3 rounds on C against the Killjoy. You know, teammates are gonna start speaking the enemies are gonna start speaking the gibberish language to the Killjoy and telling that Killjoy to go to the kitchen, or I don't know what people, you know, Sikkim and all of that shit, like on French and Turkish language. This push here, to push the A set in this round, is the most expected shit ever. Like, whenever I lose the first round, second round, I always stack the A set a bit with 3 or 4 players. Because I don't know. People just like to push. I mean, it is a wider area of the map, more open, etc, etc. But I still feel that C side can be easily cleared with a proper utility. I mean, with drop a nade, you know, bop, bop. Here, we drop a boom bot. bop. You know, bop. Bop. Here, we satchel. Here, stun the backside. Maybe, you know, breach flashes it, whatever. Like, I don't know who we have. Like, Fade reveals it, like, whatever. And that's it. We push out. There's like 3 angles to clear on C side. Like this, this, and this. And of course, you know, this. But you can do that, everything with a boombot and nade.
Come push B.
Raze peeking.
Stealing sight.
Launching smoke.
I'll find you.
Stupid.
At least 3 on A.
We can go B. Can you smoke? Can you smoke the cross?
I don't know what to tell you about this round, but this is exactly why I don't recommend you to go onto A side. Like literally, like it is never worth it in the second round. First of all, listen here. When we were holding this angle with a bulldog, I would always hold it with a ADS. The main power of the bulldog is basically the triple shot. And when you're holding the tight angles, pixel angles, when you're low HP, holding the long range corridors, medium range fights, always burst fire. Like also, I would, if I'm already playing an anti-eco round, I'm gonna hold this angle. I don't know why did you get out of this fight. You know, narrow down this angle, hold it like this, enemy peeks, bop. Send that Raze to Jesus Christ. Then, once the enemy harbor walled this, let's cross here safely with a satchel. Let's jump spot the enemies. Now, push here. Okay, we have a boombot. Let's drop a boombot there to clear that angle so we don't die from maybe enemy Raze that is there. And that's gonna surprise us. Jet is contesting my teammates in A main. No problem. Nade, wait for the gun to come in my hands, and then I go for the peek.
Launching smoke.
I'll find you.
At least 3 on A.
Can you
Never, listen, just never push the A side and B side in the second anti-eco round on the attacker side. You'll be totally fine. And also, like, if you're pushing C in a second round, fuck the bulldog. Stinger, heavy shell, shorty, utility, send it. Or you can even buy a judge and just, you know, go into the enemy's face.
go back? Can someone destroy Killjoy turret if she's playing aggressive again on C?
Can we have
Okay, now we need to tell the Fade to use a reveal.
Yeah, we should eco. Don't die.
Yeah, I have money connects.
Fade, do the reveal. Okay, nade.
There.
Bro. Okay, listen. First of all, this nade that he deployed right here, it's fine, you know, to push the enemies back. But if we already have, you know, a reveal of our Fade, let's use the reveal first. Let's jump spot the enemies. Let's see how many enemies are there. Like, whenever I'm pushing the C site fast, you know, we're not pushing on contact, you will always see me do this. I run in front of my teammates, jump spot the enemies on all of these angles, and now we push. To see how many enemies are there. Or I will call for a flash, for the recon dart, for the prowler, anything. And only if I really need to use the nade, I'm gonna use it. In this scenario, I will try to save the nade, because that nade is very good for us to push the site and pressure the enemies. Also here, if I heard in this eco round, we heard enemy Raze using the nade from here like this. Instead of me picking a fucking orb. That is your call from the jungle, you know? That's maybe the only time when you will have a potential kill. I would have instantly done a double satchel to kill that Raze. And even if I die during that process, who the fuck cares? I trade myself for a kill, I get 2 ultimate points, I damage the enemy's economy, and my teammates have higher chances of winning this round. Anyways, I have a fucking shorty. And also, you're willing to tank 100 damage from the enemy Raze nade for the orb? What?
There. Where are you? Placing satchel out.
One of 7, close.
Placing satchel out.
I mean, here, like, really, map awareness is the problem, brother. You know, if I saw this guy, I would have instantly just flicked towards him and not even used the second satchel, but... yeah. Also, one thing that I want to mention, that I wanted to talk about, in the last round is, like, I see that you play on 80 FPS. You know, it's really admirable, to be honest, that you reach Diamond 3 with 80 FPS. And, you know, even if you have 144 Hz monitor, like, that monitor doesn't matter. If like, your FPS is low. So I would, you know, I basically, if you reach Diamond 3 with this PC setup, you can probably get, like, I don't know, Immortal 1 on a better PC. Basically, this is like playing a challenge, essentially, going to Radiant, like, with the 60 to 80 FPS. So, yeah. And that's why your mechanics might struggle a lot. Basically, you know, if I was executing the bomb sites, taking the fights with 60 to 80 FPS, I would also have like 14% headshot ratio, to be honest. Like, I mean, it's really fucking hard. I don't know, man. This feels like a cancer, brother.
Satchel out. Satchel out.
150 FPS good or need more? No, 150 FPS with 144 Hz is all you need. It's more than enough.
Run along, buddy.
Reloading.
Okay. Holy shit, that was a long round. Now listen. You're currently developing the absolutely worst pattern of pushing that you can develop on the attacker side. One round, we go A. Other round, we go C. A, C, B, D, E, F, G. Fuck that shit. If I was in the enemy team right now, I would be stacking the A site again. Ask yourself, if you are in the enemy's shoes, what would you defend right now? I would definitely not defend the C site. I just fucked you up on C 2 rounds. In the first round and the third round as well. Fuck that shit. Obviously in this round, what we should do is push C again. 100%. There's only gonna be Killjoy C. I can guarantee that in this round, only fucking Killjoy is playing the C site. I have a 75 Hz monitor. I would... Listen, better equipment is never going to make out of you a better gamer. You're not gonna magically improve by buying a 360 Hz monitor, high-end PC, shit like that. But a better equipment unlocks your full potential. Only God knows what is your actual potential in FPS games until you get better equipment. You can reach Radiant on 60 Hz, 60 FPS, it is doable. But only like 0.0001% of players can actually do that. I can say, like, you know, you're running in a race with 80 kilos of weights on your shoulder. Of course, you're gonna be slower than others. It's like the same concept, basically. So, like, you know, you cannot play tennis with a baseball bat. Let's see the economy in this round, like... What did he buy? Listen, man. Unless you really need your utility for some executor for something, prioritize your utility over the heavy shield. Here, I mean, you're playing Raze and you're the only entry fragger, like, sure. You should be buying the light shield with the Vandal and the rest of the money goes into utilities. So it's fine. It's okay. But pushing C now is ASAP.
Out of my way.
Okay.
Satchel out.
Okay. Listen, I would always advise you, when you're doing this play with the Raze, so we're taking the aim and area of the map. Okay, we did an A to push the enemies back and stop their push.
Satchel out.
When you use this satchel, instantly jump spot the enemies here, so that your teammates don't die, you know, from these positions here. Get the information. Are the doors open? Are the doors closed? Maybe one enemy is here. You never know. Do this, and now wait for your teammates to peek and peek together and fight the enemies together. Run with the brimstone. Brimstone. Run, run, run.
Come tree.
Okay, now it's gonna be crucial to see how do we push the doors. Like when I'm pushing the doors with a Raze, we open the doors with a boombot in the hands, put the boombot on the right side, clear the left side, clear this, clear this. So, I will never do something like this, because enemies can rotate me and fuck me and my teammates up. Also, enemies can be on 1, 2, 3, 4 different angles. We need to use the boombot to clear some of these positions, and then we path into the tree. Probably there is a better boombot lineup, but I really don't like having too many lineups, because that slows down my gameplay a lot. Like, you know, probably this can be much better. Like, you can also do a boombot from here and then just pick this angle, pick this angle, clear this position, etc, etc. Amazing lineup. Amazing boombot. Where are you going? I mean, right now, when the Fate did a reveal, it's okay. It's okay, actually. But here, like, you know, I don't know, why are you so much in front of your allies and your teammates are not able to capitalize on your death in any way? Slow down a bit. Let's take one sector at a time together. Our teammates are fighting in the A main area of the map. Our Fate did a reveal for the backside and, you know, for the drop. I'm not gonna do this
Satchel out.
and be in an open area of the map where I need to pick a fight with enemies. I'm gonna do this.
Satchel out.
And then from this position, I'll be picking the fights together with my teammates. Especially, we have a 5v3 numbers advantage. If I have a 5v3 numbers advantage, I don't give a shit. When are we gonna plant the spike? I don't give a shit about taking the space. Your whole gameplay needs to boil down onto one specific mindset. I wanna play a refrag game, and I want to be a refraggable teammate. Fuck everything else. And you should not put yourself in a situation where enemies can isolate you in a 1v1 duel. Here, where are you going? Chill, bro. You're 5 HP. Play with your team. Now look at the tower. I mean, in this situation, you're forced to look at the tower because one enemy can be there. If my Killjoy is already fighting here, Brimstone is planting the spike, I need to protect that Killjoy.
One enemy remaining.
Good job.
Good job, huh? Listen. Don't make this play your default play. Like this nade to push the enemies back we use when we notice that enemies are using the operator in the C-long. If our teammates are dying in the C-long. Enemies like to contest it aggressively and shit like that. There's like, why would I waste a nade for this?
My ult is ready. Enemy spotted.
Waterfall.
Okay.
Not too long.
Reloading. Take hold.
Okay.
Reloading.
I have my ult.
Coming out.
Never saw me.
Listen, when you're playing some kind of an off angle like this, as soon as you take a kill from an off angle, you should reposition and engage the enemies from the second angle. Keep your location a secret. I mean, not really a secret, just you cannot play here anymore because enemies are just gonna easily pre-aim you. You can continue playing on this position if you have, you know, if you can instantly support your teammates in some kind of a fight. For an example, now your Reyna picks a fight, yeah, sure. Pick the right side, try to refrag that Reyna. But right now, staying up here is a bit of a Sudoku.
One cross backside.
Enemy
Should
spotted
one
C. One enemy remaining. Reloading. Reload there.
Okay.
Take one.
Push was okay. You know, I don't think that in this anti-eco round, there was really no reason for you to do double satchel here and to split yourself away from your teammates so much. You could have just done a boombot, one satchel, get into this position, wait for your teammates to start pushing out, and now we can maybe pick this angle with a Ferrari satchel and kill that enemy. Or we can maybe instantly get up here, check the backside, you know, from this position, and play this angle. Take one, you know, you don't want to do double satchels 24/7. The double satchels are important when you need to take more space for your team when you're playing the close range weapons and shit like that. Using the ultimate, obviously, but most of the time, especially on a map such as Lotus, you just need one satchel to actually execute a site. Like, I'm pushing the B side. All I need to do for my team, if you have a smoke here and a smoke there, is this.
Satchel out.
No double satchels. And I'm keeping a satchel to,
Satchel out.
you know, stop the enemy's retake or to contest the enemies again, go for some Ferrari peak, etc, etc.
Just wait out. Don't make noise on A. Just wait for them to push you.
Okay, we're faking C, that's a good idea.
Where are you? Yeah, they did the come on A, and they're pushing.
Okay. This can work. This can work.
Satchel out.
Okay. This round, very good call, very good idea. Because this whole match we were just pushing S5 and we were never faking anything. Plus we won the round on the C set in the last round, so, you know, if you're pushing C again, like, enemies are probably gonna make some kind of an aggro move or maybe even stack the C side. So this was a very good call, very good round. I like it a lot. But now your job is done. I mean, we got 2-3 kills. Get the fuck out of the site. You know? Now just play with your spike carrier, play with your teammates. You don't need to risk your life. You don't need to play alone. You don't need to give this gun to your enemies.
Good job.
Why? Like, what, you know? Why would I be here? Why would I fight that enemy? I don't need to fight. Like, I'm working a 9-to-5 job in Valorant. As soon as we make numbers advantage, your job is done. From that moment on, your job is just to play with your teammates, spike carrier, plant the spike, play post plant, that's it. Especially because our economy is still not established in this match. We need to value, we need to just save this Vandal for the next round and that's it. And then if we win this round with a Vandal and Heavy Shield, we have a strong economy for the rest of the match. You need to have that type of a break in your mind, like where, okay, I've accomplished something for my team. my job is done. Now I should just play with my teammates and that's it.
Just on C.
I mean, this is still losable. Like, they can still lose this round. Okay.
We push C, but you can lurk. Just catch them pushing.
I don't like that this is your default play. Like, there was not a as I said, there was not a single round where enemies picked you with operator here, where enemies contested you. Just use a fade reveal, fade dog, and on the contact of fade utility, you can use your nade to push the enemies back. But we're wasting such a valuable piece of utility to push the C site against the enemy killjoy. And also, in this round, the only thing that we need to save is the ultimate, because we will need the ultimate to actually destroy the enemy killjoy ultimate. So I would pay attention on that. Like in this round, you cannot use the ultimate to execute the C site.
Reloading.
Careful behind the box.
Also, you know, this comes more with time and practice. But when you're in the air with a Raze, you really need to flick a lot left, right, same as you do with a jet dash ability. Like, your satchels are not only a tool to pressure the enemies, to take fights, it's a recon tool. You know, when you were using the second satchel, you needed to flick left and right, especially because you have the ultimate to get information for yourself. But using the ultimate here was a stupid idea. Because if I was in the enemy team, I would just be playing the retake of the CISA with a breach ultimate, killjoy ultimate, and that's it. Now, if we want to win this post plant, we need to push the enemies aggressively, either in the CT or waterfall. I mean, the best idea would be waterfall.
I think they're stuck, maybe.
Let me see the enemy's economy as well.
Because just go C
Okay.
fast.
Bring them down.
I think they're stuck, maybe.
Push with Reyna. Okay, but also here, when we got this kill on Jet, you know, this smoke in the CT, you always need to check it carefully, man. Like, okay, we got a kill on Jet. None of the enemies killed us from here, but I would have still cleared this position and this position. Because one enemy was maybe playing on a trigger discipline, and I need to be fully safe that we're not gonna die behind this fucking smoke. Like, we need to check the gap here and gap here. Like, you and Reyna right now might be resting in pepperoni, man. And also, you cannot hold this angle because no one is playing the site. Like, okay, my Reyna is holding the CT from here. I need to hold this angle. And we are playing the refrag game on both of these positions. Or we just need to push the CT fully and get some better position. But here we're gonna die from the site. Maybe, I don't know.
One enemy remaining.
Okay.
Good job. Joy.
They are terrifying. Heart out.
Let me grab the walk on C.
Find you.
I'm dead.
Listen, what was the call in this round?
We can try to play for pigs. If you want Killjoy, you can come with me B. You can.
Listen here. As long as the 5-man pushes are working for you, as long as the team play game works for you, don't play for the picks. The more you play for the picks in this elo, the more mistakes your teammates can make. Fuck that shit. Defaulting should only be used as a counter strategy or as a last resort. Otherwise, split, push, take space, etc., etc. In this round, why would I default? Enemies don't know how to defend the C site. They don't know how to defend the A site as well. Let's just push something together. Why would I play for the picks?
You can take the ult up.
Fair, like, pushing side.
And pray to God that my teammates with Spike here are gonna stay alive and not make some kind of a mistake.
Oh, let me go.
Right now, I feel so sorry.
Can you just keep making noise? I'm gonna go back.
Bomb buddy out.
Nice. Okay, go rotate, go rotate.
Satchel out.
Skin Hunter.
Satchel out. Enemy A. Where are you?
But here, like, you know, you cannot really play on this position if we don't have a single piece of utility for the aim and area of the map. Basically for the spawn. Like, playing on this angle would be fine if you had some kind of a killjoy or chamber trip, like an alarm bot for our back. But you cannot be exposed from like 1, 2, 3 angles at this moment of time.
They're pushing main. They're pushing main.
Check. I think you're kind of like you need to be more aware of all of the angles and timings that enemies can take on you. Like, you need to just ask yourself more questions during your gameplay. Okay, enemy harbor did a wall like this. One guy could have easily crossed into this position. We need to check that spot. Aha. I don't have a single piece of utility for the flank. As I'm crossing this area of the map, I need to place my crosshair for the aim in, because maybe one enemy is holding me with the sheriff from this position. So if I was pathing here towards that harbor wall, I would be checking my back, checking this position, waiting for the Brimstone. I mean, I don't need to peek through this wall because Brimstone ultimate is already heavily pressuring the enemies. Wait for the wall to go down and then fight together.
Last player standing.
My base.
There's only push right now.
Find you.
And harbor. Never mind.
Beach bar side.
Reload. Satchel out. Bomb grenade in sight.
Oh yo. Oh yo, brother. I mean, if I already have a judge, you know, and I want to push the C side, I think this moment is better. Because anyways, if I'm pushing with a judge,
Satchel out.
I want to use this, you know?
Satchel out. Satchel out. Satchel out.
And I'm gonna check that angle anyways. And also, like, you know, if your satchel is going to explode before you're ready for some proper satchel, fuck it. As I said, like, when you're pushing the C side of Lotus, you just need one satchel. You need this. Satchel with a bunny hop. Do you need anything else
Satchel out.
when pushing C side of Lotus?
Reload.
Slow down a bit.
Bomb grenade in sight. Out of target.
Planting for long.
Reloading. Get out.
One more ramp.
Okay.
Went here.
Okay.
Reloading. Get out.
One more ramp.
Okay.
And then we
Grenade! Where are you?
What is the call in this round?
We never tried to, like, go B.
Okay, but we should do a B split. Maybe we 2 pressure C and then we others go B.
Sure.
Do a B split. Maybe we 2 pressure C and then we others go B.
Listen, in this elo, if you're telling your teammates to fake something, I would always make sure that I'm not the guy that is faking. You always want to play with a group of teammates that are carrying the spike because of two problems. First of all, you know, when your teammates are faking something, they're gonna do their job, whatever the fuck they do. They're gonna throw the utility, maybe die, who the fuck cares, you know? But your teammates carrying the spike, you know? If they get fucked, you get heavily fucked. You need to retake the spike. Another problem is like, what I notice a lot of the times, when I'm faking something, myself, my teammates don't take any space as I'm actually faking the push. Like the whole point of the fake is not to wait an eternity in the B main or A main area of the map to push the B site and A site. Like I would always advise you in the elos below Immortal 3, play with the teammates. They don't have the job of faking something. Send the fade. Fade, brother. You have recon utility. Fake C. Killjoy, you're useless anyways. Lurker, flanker. Fake C. And you, Brimstone, and Reyna are playing together. Or Reyna. Reyna is also a duelist. She can easily sell the fake with Aliers and flashes. But I would never play with this guy and doing what you're doing right now. Or what I can do. Okay, our job is to fake C and go B. Okay. Reyna, go C. Fade, go C. I'll do a nade. And now, bam. I play with my teammates on B. You already did a fake. Enemy saw the nade. Reyna Lear. Fade reveal. They're gonna pull a faster rotation. Anyways. And now, I'm able to compensate every fucking mistake that my teammates with the spike make. And I'm gonna make sure that they don't make a single mistake. When you do this, like, you know, when you do this fake that you're doing right now, you just pray to God that this group of your teammates that are pushing through the B main area of the map, they're gonna do a proper job. And I would much rather not put like the fate of my rounds and matches in the hands of the God, to be honest. Like,
Spike down B.
listen, I mean, if you're using like, if you want to deal and stop the enemy's push, I think this nade is much better. Sorry, not that. I fucked up. Basically, like this. To deny this space of the enemies, because like, you know, if you use the nade that you're doing, like you did something like this. Nothing is stopping the enemy jet to go for the swing here, take a kill, and dash left. But this nade is quite literally going in the face of that jet, and she's gonna have less confidence to go for the peak. Like, if you're denying the push of the enemies, it's much better if your nade lands here instead of here.
Enemy spotted A.
Can we flash right now? Can we flash? Oh fuck. Do you have some util?
Okay. Okay. But
Can we flash? Oh fuck. Do you have some util?
Satchel.
I don't know.
Bomb buddy out.
Whatever.
I have my ult. This bundle is well.
One enemy remaining.
Hit. She's a.
Listen. Okay, let's talk about this round. So first of all,
Do you have some YouTube?
this ultimate that you did here was good. And I also would have used this ultimate to hunt the enemy jet and to try to kill the jet before she kills any more of my teammates. Now, the only difference here is if the jet updrafted on tower, I would have used the ultimate here
My ult ready.
or here. I don't know. I would try to push the jet even further back. And I don't know if the jet had the timing to go all the way into city. Probably she had. Like, it really doesn't matter. Now, this play, to play in the smoke, 10 out of 10. You need to do it. You have a stinger. And basically, like, you need to pressure the enemies. You need to get into their face. Kill on the breach was a bit delayed. I think you could have killed the breach much faster. As soon as you hurt him down here, you could have just stomped him. Picking up the operator was also good play, because you have only 85 HP. Enemy still didn't pick a duel with your fade. Kill was good. Now, we switch to the Vandal. I don't know why... Why did you use the nade so fast? Like, even if the enemy jet kills your fade, so what? Like, I can just use the nade on the contact. You know, when the jet goes for a defuse, delay the spike, jump spot the jet, and you can win the round like that.
I have my ult.
Like, basically, you know, when you went for this kill on the breach, I think you could have, like, killed this breach much, much faster. Like, because you could have peeked this breach actually much faster, before the smoke even disappeared. Because once the smoke disappeared, you were fully overexposed from the aim-in area of the map. I mean, you know, from the front side. And you could have easily died, you know, from behind, like, from the enemies. You should have used the smoke as a cover for this kill. This is good.
This bundle is well. One enemy.
And now, you know, let's chill a bit. Killjoy is last alive. Spike is ticking down. This Killjoy has only around 25 seconds to defuse this spike. Brother, pick up the Vandal, play on the contact between the Fade and Killjoy, maybe go for a jiggle pick. You don't kill a Killjoy, no problem. Killjoy has 20 seconds to defuse the spike. We use the nade, we delay the defuse for 4 more seconds. Killjoy is not pushing us. She's tapping the spike. Jump spot. She gets off the spike. Jump spot again. She's defusing the spike. Jiggle pick, try to get a kill. I mean, like, you could have easily won this round if you just focus more on denying the time from this Killjoy to defuse the spike, rather than trying to get a kill here.
Remaining.
Hit. She's a. She's low.
Okay, I mean, the guy just went for the swing in there.
They have money for op again, be careful.
Get out of my way.
Cutting their vision.
Also, I think that you're wasting I think that you're fucking up your timing to push onto sites and to execute the sites a lot by focusing so much on picking up these fucking orbs. Like, I'm gonna pick up the orbs if we are rotating, if there's nothing better to do, if I need maybe one ultimate orb for the ultimate or something like that. But, you know, here, like, two of my teammates are looking towards the seaside. There's a gap in the enemy smoke. Already we can initiate some kind of an exec with the prowlers, with the smoke. You have the smokes, you have the Reyna and Fade at the choke point. We're just giving enemies more time to rotate. And this nade, but you know, you don't need to use it 24/7. Chill a bit, you know. It's always better if you use that, you know, if enemies are not pressuring you that hard and they're not really taking some extra space and killing your teammates with the operator, fuck it. Save the nade. You know, for the like execute of a site. And you know, pay attention. Like, Lotus is a very fucked up map because even the tiniest pixel can fuck up your nade. So when you're doing your nades, you know, off of this wall, I usually do it off of this wall here, so I know it's gonna bounce.
Just wait. Maybe Killjoy get a pick on B.
Do we know where Killjoy is?
Satchel out.
Good. Listen, this angle here, we don't only use to like hold the waterfall. I mean, if I get up on this position,
There.
and my teammates are already contesting the enemies in a waterfall, so basically, I have a Reyna breach and my teammates holding this. Why the fuck? You know, I want to hold the city, especially if we don't have a smoke for the city.
You should run. Planted.
I think there is a gap at the backside where I can play. I mean, this killjoy. Let me see something. Actually, if the killjoy does the ultimate there is no gap, right? I'm not sure how that killjoy planted this ultimate.
Where are we going this time? Remember what worked in the past. Initiated. My ultimate is ready.
Yeah, it looks like that. Okay.
30 seconds left. Thrifty. Satchel out. Okay, I only have like 78 grenades left. Hopefully that's enough.
It's okay. It's okay. The play that you went for here was actually the only play that we have. But I already talked about this in the previous rounds. Like, whenever enemy killjoy has the ultimate, you need to fight either for the full CT control or for the waterfall control. Like, one of these two areas of the map needs to be deleted from the enemies. And you need to pay more attention on, you know, what type of ultimates enemies have to fuck you up. I mean, when you're pushing the C set of Lotus, you only need to track the, you know, killjoy ultimate most of the time.
Off.
I don't know, man. Like in this VOD, I didn't see that many problems that you mentioned in the Discord, like message that you wrote in the forum. Like, yes, your decision making is like suboptimal, but I think like the callouts that you're giving to your teammates, you know what to do, doesn't make a lot of sense for this elo. I feel that you're trusting your teammates a lot with certain jobs that you should be doing. For an example, like defaulting when there's no reason to default, or when you're doing the fakes, you're the one faking the site, bro, and, you know, trusting your teammates to do a proper job on the opposite part of the map. Like, that is something that you should change in your gameplay. Like, Trust your teammates a bit less. Focus with playing with the group of the players that are, you know, assigned to plant the spike and carry the spike. And default only if as a part of some kind of a counter strategy or strategy to punish the enemies. Like in this elo, the more you default, like the more mistakes your teammates can make. In the first round as well, brother, allowing your Killjoy and Reyna to push A main and B main is a suicide, essentially. Now listen, defender side of Lotus. On defense of Lotus, what rank are we right now? We're still Immortal 3, like 420, 50 something. Now, on defense of Lotus, A site is your #1 priority. C site, #2 priority. B site, #3 priority. First round, you always start on A. But in the first round, we cannot aggress the enemies in the A main area of the map. Okay? So basically, like, we don't have enough utility to do that, and enough manpower, essentially. It's stupid to take the A main area of the map in the first round. It's just a pointless job. Because we don't know where the enemies are gonna go, how they're gonna play, like, fuck this shit. In the first round, if you're playing A site, a lot of times, like what I do with Raze, is I simply force the Sheriff, I hold this angle, try to delete one enemy, here, rotate onto another off angle, try to delete an enemy, here, try to delete an enemy, here, enemies are pushing through the doors, bop, bop. You can also buy classic Lyshal utility, it's really up to you. But I like to play Sheriff in the first round with Raze, because on this map, a lot of the angles and a lot of the walls are made out of paper, you know, like all of these positions you can spam with a Sheriff, like when you're going for the retake of B side, like you can get some cheesy kills essentially. But you know, it's really up to you. You can go with a Ghost and Satchel, like for an example, try to delete one enemy there, then abuse some secondary angle to like kill an enemy here, then use an off angle here, and your teammates, like just the worst thing you can do. Just the worst thing that you can do, on in the first round of Lotus is wasting your utility to take the aim and control. It's a huge gamble.
That's the smoke here. Maybe you can push with us. Reyna's leaving A, just we will push.
Listen, man. Okay. Utility usage was fine. I mean, we really don't know how the enemies are gonna execute the A site. One thing that you're never doing with your satchels is basically like if the enemies are close to you, you should primarily use your satchels to displace their movement and fuck them up. I mean, if the enemy jet already dashed from the aim and area of the map behind the rubble, like I'm not gonna wait for the jet to peek me. I'm instantly gonna use the satchel to displace the jet movement, the jet accuracy, and go for a swing. Like you need to use your satchels in a variety of different ways instead of only using it to take the space or to, you know, as a movement tool. Like also, if I'm taking the space in the aiming area of the map in the first round, classic Lyshal 2 satchels. Like your job is essentially to drop a satchel below yourself, do the nade, and get up here as soon as possible. If the enemy jet dashes or Omen teleports with a classic pistol, bop, 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 you don't even need to aim, essentially. Easy. Triple shots. I generally think that in the first round of Lotus, it is much better if you just play passively, if you don't fight for the aim and control, because we don't know where the enemies are gonna push, where they're gonna go, like, and we don't have that much of a utility. Like, let's say for an example, we take the aim and control with a nade, with a seize, with a reveal, with a smoke, with a stun. Enemies push C site, they kill our killjoy. Now we don't have a nade, we don't have a reveal, we don't have a seize, we don't have a stun, and we don't have one smoke. Just, it's really fucked up. And who can tell you, like, where the fuck the enemies are gonna go in the first round? Nobody. Now, if you lose the first round on Lotus, in the second round you should always play the A site, and you can maybe just buy a shorty with a satchel and classic pistol. And what I like to do on Lotus is, like, I wait for the enemies to, you know, if they're pushing the A site, I wait for the enemies to open the rotating doors. I wait for the doors to be in the middle, like this. Drop a nade like this, and try to kill that enemy.
I have my stim pick and I'm just gonna use it so very fast.
Okay.
Reyna, just come in. I can bot there.
Okay. 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 Listen. Moodley, welcome to you, man. Bro, I'm already too tired, man. Like, I've been streaming for 7.5 hours. Like, my brain doesn't work, man. My brain is at like 1% right now. Listen. On Lotus, whenever enemies are playing some kind of an eco or hull by round on the attacker side, chances are 80% that enemies are going to push you on either B or C site, and only 20% that is going to be an A push in the solo queue, in ranked solo queue environment. So basically, if you're like, if enemies are eco to hull by, the best idea for you is to start on some kind of a position on B site, defending the site, and playing a fast rotation between A site and C site. Basically, in this round, what I would do is, yes, I would obviously force the Outlaw because, you know, enemies don't have the money for the heavy shields, easy body shots, and that's it. Outlaw, heavy shield, shorty, utility. I will be holding this angle and playing a fast rotation towards C. Because after that round on A, and after you showcase to the enemies that you like to fight for the A main area of the map, chances are really high that enemies are gonna go B and C.
Pushing A.
I mean, we don't know where the fuck they're gonna go. And even if they go on A in this round, I mean, your teammates cannot make that many mistakes on the A side, you know? Like, basically, you know, your Reyna is probably gonna win some long-range duels, your Fade is gonna win a long-range duels with a Vandal, etc, etc. But on B side, like, we don't know what the fuck this Brimstone is gonna do. Especially Killjoy on C, like, she's alone in an anti-eco round on C. Listen, if you're playing this angle, and enemies spot you on this position, brother, get the fuck down. Like, whenever I'm playing some kind of an angle or off angle, enemies spot me, I was not able to kill them, I will instantly reposition to keep my location a secret so that, you know, enemies cannot just pre-aim me and fuck me up.
Pushing A.
Especially here. You know, like, we know that enemy Raze is behind the rubble. Okay. We just use an 8 here, she's fucked. She needs to pick us on the left side or right side.
Reloading.
push. I mollied it.
Get out of here.
Reload.
One more on A.
Listen, man, like, whenever you use, like, one bullet... 0% brain, man. Whenever you use one shot of the Outlaw, and you get a kill, and you have a time to reload the second shot, reload it. I mean, the reloading 2 bullets of the Outlaw is basically like, 3.5 fucking seconds. Here, if I kill this Harbor, and I'm not gonna contest the rest of the enemy team, and the enemies are getting stopped by my fade, reloading the bullet, repositioning on some other off angle, and then, like, you know,
One more on A.
Spike down A.
contesting the enemies again. Also, I don't know what you're doing here, but you're just baiting your fade. I mean, like, okay, you know, we got a kill onto the enemy harbor here. Bam. I reload the bullet, but I'm instantly repositioning to the second off angle. And I'm getting ready to refrag my fade. My fade is fighting the enemies in the A main area of the map. I want to be at least here to kill this guy. And if no one is there, then I'll go for the swing here. But you're already holding an angle that your fade was holding at that moment of time.
Spike down A.
You see, like, now, it takes 3.5 seconds to reload this fucking gun. If you reload it like that, one additional bullet, okay. We missed one shot. We still would have had a second shot to maybe finish off this killjoy. This is really fucking stupid as well. Like, listen. Okay, so we're holding the killjoy. Now I need to reload the Outlaw. I only have a classic pistol. Like, I'm gonna use a nade here and boombot here to delay her push as much as possible before the teammates connect with me. And if this boombot connects with the killjoy, maybe I can use the satchel and triple shot that idiot.
One enemy remaining. Out of charges. 30 seconds left. There.
This nade right here is a complete waste if you're not taking the aim and control. What's the point of it? Yes, maybe you're gonna deal, like, I don't know, 80 damage onto enemy jet, but there's no point.
Is it A?
No info. I voted. KJ is on B. Oh, okay.
40 on Raze.
Spike
Raze
planted.
might be fishing city or water.
Cutting their vision. Still in sight. Last player standing.
Okay, okay.
It's A, it's A.
Listen, if you're buying a shorty in an eco round or halberd round, stay with the shorty. I mean, with like your job in this round is not really to stay alive and clutch this round. your job is to do the double satchels, distract the enemies, potentially kill one enemy, and that's it. And the easiest way to do that is with a fucking shorty. And here, instead of rotating towards the A link that is not even destroyed, you should have rotated to the B tower, go onto the A tower, and get ready to double satchel into the enemy's face.
Going.
Let's start this party.
I mean, the main problem with this VOD review is like, based on his tracker, I already know like what type of training I'm gonna recommend him and what I'm gonna give him. Like, literally, there's no even reason for me to watch this VOD review.
Raze on A.
Brother, like, when it comes to your Raze gameplay, the piece of utility that you're wasting the most is the nade. Like, nade needs to have some kind of a purpose. Like, doing a solo nade at the back of the rubble when we're not pushing A main area of the map. What? Save that nade. If our teammates already want to play passively on the A side, that's gonna be very useful for us. Like, we can split the enemies apart as they're pushing into the side through the choke point. When the enemies are opening the doors, we can pressure them with an nade here. Take some easy kills like...
Rubble. Harbor also A. Rubble. I think at least 3 on A.
You see here, like that nade would have been such a great tool to support Arena and to put the pressure onto the enemies so that Arena doesn't die like a potato. That's also fine.
Harbor is stairs. Could be coming out. I played.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Very good idea to play onto the C site. Enemies have the Killjoy ultimate, Raze ultimate. In the last round, they lost on A site. Like right now, there's like 80% of chances they're gonna push C. But once again, what the fuck is this nade, bro? Like, who does the nade in the C long area of the map? When we are stacking the C site. You know, here, like, your Brimstone should be giving you a one-way smoke. If the enemies are pushing through the smoke or below the smoke, we use the nade to split them apart, pressure them, take a kill.
Grenade! I'll find you.
It's B, it's B, it's B.
Spike down B.
Good kill there, good kill. Listen. You've already done your job. You know, man. Like, you made a numbers advantage for your team. A bit of a ballsy play. No problem. But right now, you're the only guy that is defending the C site. Like, by opening these doors. Like, even if you kill one enemy. And you die. The round is quite losable. Because enemies will have the full C set for free. They still have the Raze and Killjoy ultimate. And your teammates can easily lose this. Like, what you're doing right now is unnecessary engagement with the enemies. And you're putting yourself in a position where you need to observe the right side and left side. And enemies can fuck you up in some kind of a sandwich. You absolutely deserve this. You absolutely deserve this. Like, you will notice this in my gameplay, like, quite a lot, especially on the defender side. Like, Basically, I'm a much better defender side player than attacker side player. Much better. Like, on defense, I have like 55% win rate. On attack, I have like 45 to 50% maximum. Like, I get a pick. I'm done. I play retake. I'm not risking myself. I'm not risking anything anymore if I don't need to. Like, yes, I will still try to contest the enemies a bit, at the choke points, but I'm not gonna risk my life in some 50-50 duels or put myself in a position to fight 2, 3, 4 enemies at once. Okay. I open the doors. I kill this guy. Focus on C-long. Now, doors are closed. I move back here, holding this angle. Okay, try to kill one enemy. Enemies are opening the doors and pushing through here and here. Okay, I'm going back onto this angle. Enemies are pushing out. I'll maybe try to split them with an aid. Try to kill one enemy here, go back. And during this process, even if I don't get any kills, who cares? I'm 5 versus 4. We have plenty of utility to retake the site, play together, and win this round.
Oh, at least 2 on C. I think they go C now. On C.
In this elo we're playing right now, every round where you're not alive to control the outcome of the round, you're just like praying to God. What the fuck is gonna happen? In this elo, even if you leave your teammates in a 4 versus 2 scenario, 4 versus 1, there is at least 20% of chances that they are gonna lose it. By being over-aggressive, by not playing together, by doing some random shit, by autopiloting. Like in this elo, it is much more important for you to stay alive, to control the outcome of the rounds, rather than actually like making some good plays. Like a good play is like you staying alive, making a numbers advantage, and that's it.
Last was box. Bend.
The fuck was that, bro? Listen, like, if enemies already don't have a smoker to smoke you here at the stairs, why are you playing wide open like this? You don't have a dash ability. What the fuck is going on? If enemies are not smoking the stairs or main area of the map, play here. Hold this. Go for shot. Reposition. At the start of the round, drop a satchel like this. Hold this angle. Bam. Take a kill and use the satchel as a dash ability. Hold this angle. Get a kill. Get the fuck away with a satchel. Hide yourself here. Wait for the enemies to peek you from the rubble to clear this position. Surprise them with a peek on timing. Get a kill. Get the fuck out with a satchel. Off angle. Okay. I try to catch the enemy Raze or Jet there. Or enemies pushing. I'm out. This position is also fine. Holding the tight angle. Like this. And reacting on the enemy's colors there. Or flicking up and down. Trying to get a shot, get the fuck out. But playing here. God help us right now.
Get out of my way.
And also, when the enemy Jet uses the ultimate, you can feel free to position your crosshair here. Like right now, what I will be doing, I will be playing in the CT, placing my crosshair here. That Jet is gonna updraft 8 out of 10 times if they're pushing aim and area of the map. If that Jet is normal. Anyways, I don't know what the fuck was that dash. Like you would have killed that guy, even if you had a crosshair placement like this. you would have killed that guy. Like my guy, Jet dashed here, bro. Like Diamond 3 elo, bro. Like just. Okay.
One main. One B main.
I don't know why you're not telling your team as the two enemies are A and that you're getting pushed. Like already here, I will be yelling. Already here, I will be yelling at my allies. Enemies are pushing A. Like Fade needs to rotate. Brimstone needs to rotate. We are fucked in the ass, bro. I mean, going for this peak here was okay, you know. You needed to do it, basically. But after you got that kill, you needed to use the ropes and get the fuck away. I don't know, man. Like I will be yelling here at my allies, guys, help me out. I'm dead, literally. And also here, I would also tell my teammates that enemies can quite literally be in the CT.
Harbor is still on A. This is one.
I don't know why you didn't yell for help here. Like after you got those 2 kills, like what the fuck, bro?
Yeah, I think we have to outplay.
That's tough, right?
Waste. Listen, whenever enemies have the Killjoy ultimate available, either you or your teammates need to fight for the C-long area of the map. Like 80% of times, if the Killjoy has the ultimate, she's gonna go for the ultimate on B or ultimate on C. Tell the Brimstone, do the one-way smoke, tell your teammates to fight. We need to have some kind of a counter for this. We cannot play passively C-side, like, against Harbor ultimate and Killjoy ultimate. Going for a lurk and for a fast flank in this round is absolutely fine. Just there is a certain moment of time when you need to walk. You know, right now you cannot really run because one enemy can be in the C-long, destroying your anal cavity. Like already here, we should have started walking.
Spike planted.
Sheesh. Okay, now just stay alive and fuck them up. Sheesh, brother. Very nice, very nice. Very nice.
One enemy remaining.
Okay. Okay.
They read A.
Placing swamp grenade. Grenade!
Harbor ball A. Raze nade A.
Just take over.
Careful, Killjoy breach is always flashing here.
I think that a much better play when you're playing Raze on Lotus, instead of looking like this, just wait until the doors are in the middle as they are rotating. Bounce the nade from the you can use a boombot here like this to distract the enemies a bit. Once you're sure that enemies are in the tree, bounce the nade from the same spot, like this, pick the enemies and take the easy kills. Like, I don't know what are we doing right now. Well, no way, like. Also, you know what you can do more on Lotus? If the enemies are very repetitive with their positioning, like for example, enemy jet, every single round on a defender side played here. By the Guardian, by the Odin, spam the jet through the wall, like this. Easy kill. On a defender side, if enemies are already just running through the aim and choke point, in one of the rounds, you can buy a Guardian or buy the Odin, spam this wall here, easy kills. Like, high penetration weapons on this map are so overpowered because there's so many walls that are spammable on this map. Here, if I already wanted to use the ultimate, especially if I wanted to use the ultimate in this scenario, I'm not gonna play in the tree. I'm gonna give the enemies to enter the tree, to take the, this control, and then I'll be using the ultimate with 2 satchels from the backside to fuck up the enemies here and kill like 1, 2, 3 enemies with the ultimate. Why would I be looking towards this direction, dodging the breach flash? I mean, if you already want to use the ultimate here to fuck up the enemies, just play here and then use the ultimate with a satchel.
Because they go tree every round they hit A. Just if they flash, wait, you flash, I peek. Rotating. Stay, kill just stay. Okay,
Could be lurk top B.
There.
One enemy remaining. Spike down.
Well played, guys. Thanks.
Okay. As I said, the main problem of this VOD review is that this VOD review was over before it actually started. Like, already based on the tracker and based on all of the questions that you asked me, I knew like what I'm gonna share with you. Like, after this VOD review is done, I'm gonna share with you, first of all, one training routine that you're gonna perform for the next 3 months. One aim training routine that you're also gonna perform for 3 months straight. And also I'm gonna share with you 8 hours of additional coaching videos that are gonna help you out to understand the proper mindset in this elo and how to actually shift your gameplay in a completely different direction. And those videos, in combination with that training, you're already basically like Immortal 1, essentially. I don't know, I mean, I just watched this VOD review out of, like, courtesy, to be honest. Like, because, like, okay, let's watch a VOD review, like, let's be sure that you have these problems that you have mentioned. But I could have just ended this VOD review basically, like, in the first 4 rounds, essentially. Just do the things that I'm gonna share with you, and you'll be totally fine to reach Immortal 1. And plus, if you upgrade your equipment, you get a 144 Hz monitor, better frame rate. Essentially, you can be an Immortal 3 player without any problems once you complete everything that I'm gonna share with you. One thing that I noticed through the VOD review is just that a lot of times you're wasting your utility. Yeah, like, your utility usage is either optimal or bad. Especially the nade. Like, nade is like, you're just dropping it however the fuck you want, like, wherever the fuck you want, blindly. Like, when I'm using the nade, I want to use the nade to, like, pressure the enemies, take some easy kills, take the space. Like, I'm not gonna drop a nade behind the rubble 24/7. You know, if I'm not taking the aim-in position. And when you're playing passively on the A set of Lotus, you can definitely abuse more off angles to try to fuck up the enemies alone. And I think that the easiest skills that you can get with the Raze on the A set of Lotus is basically in the tree area of the map. Like in A3, like in combination with a nade, with a boombot to distract the enemies and pressure them, you can get some easy picks, and then you don't even need to play aggressively in the tree to get that control. And you know, when it comes to your team play, like, you definitely need to be more focused on like playing with your most aggressive allies and allies that have the highest chance of dying. And on attacker side, you just need to simplify your gameplay a bit more and focus more on playing with a group of allies that are doing something important for you. Players that are faking, they're not important. Even if they die, who the fuck cares? Their job is to fake. But players that are carrying the spike, you rely on them to actually make a good play. Can I still hit Immortal 1 without having to upgrade equipment? Yeah. I mean, you can get Radiant with 60 Hz and 60 FPS, but it's gonna be really fucking hard, obviously. It is possible. You know, there's like 0.01% of chance. But better equipment just unlocks your full potential, and that's it. What's the aim routine? That's something that I don't share publicly at all. Like, when I'm doing this tier 3 sub VOD reviews, like, I share all of the information only with the player that is getting the VOD review. For the free VOD reviews that I'm doing in the giveaways and then I usually share some kind of a training on stream and, you know, with everyone basically, because it's a free VOD review. Okay, man, we're gonna continue talking through the private messages because I was kind of done with the VOD review like when I started. Essentially, like I just, the tracker is so bad, like with so, like, everything is bad essentially, and we need to bring every skill set of yours to much higher levels. I really think that is upgrading to 144 Hz enough? Yeah, I mean, like, literally, you can buy any monitor. Like, buy some second-hand monitor that is 144 Hz, the biggest piece of shit ever. Like $100 on Amazon, eBay, or whatever. I don't know, like, let me check, like, just a second. Let me see in my country, like, what is the cheapest, like, 144 Hz monitor. Just a moment. I think you can get it for, like, brother, in my country, there is a 144 Hz monitor for $80. As long as it works, it is still better than any 75 or 60 Hz monitor. It cannot be worse. It doesn't matter how much motion blur it has, how much, like, latency, like, 144 is a day and night difference compared to 60 Hz. When it comes to the FPS games, of course. What does the 144 Hz does that the 60 Hz doesn't? It's enemies are rendered on your screen. Basically, like, you see the pixels faster. You'll be able to react on the pixels faster. Your reaction time is gonna improve. It's a smoother experience. You know, like on 60 Hz, the frames are rendered like this. On 144 Hz, the frames are rendered like this. So if an enemy is peeking you, like, I'm trying to explain this in a really fucking simple terms, like, that's why I'm talking like this. So basically, like, let's say the enemy jet is peeking you in the aim-in area of the map. Frames of the jet peak are gonna be rendered faster. The pixels. So essentially, you know, on a 60 Hz monitor, you're gonna get one frame here, 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 here. On 144 Hz monitor, it's gonna look something like this, where it's gonna be much smoother, and you will notice that flare faster. This is probably the simplest explanation you can get, like, essentially, when it comes to this topic. Okay, Bruce, brother, like, sorry for a bit underwhelming VOD review, but I kinda already knew what to do with you, like, before we even started. My apologies. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, leave a subscribe, all of that good stuff. Join the Discord server, and I'm gonna talk with you immediately as soon as I finish this stream. Thank you a lot.